Hey, let's talk baseball. First to 50, the New York Yankees. You like them?
I do. I like them right now. They're healthy. Their pitching is unbelievable. I mean, Nestor Cortez has been unbelievable. Also, it's good to see the fact that they have their ace, Garrett Cole, playing a little bit better than last few seasons. I know it's been sort of questionable with him. But I tell you, Judge right now, you talk about taking a gamble on himself. My goodness, I mean, this could pay off way more than it was last season.
Arbitration, man.
I mean, but still, I mean, he's the number one vote getter. He's hitting the most home runs. He's playing out unbelievably right now. I mean, you go another 50 games like this is not going to look good for him.
What a concept. I don't want to get into that. Mid-season arbitration.
But
he's going to sit through an arbitration hearing while he's doing it this week.
And doesn't he look any better? How does he look any better than he does right now?
He seems like one of those guys where nothing mentally affects him, not because he's able to zone it out, but because his name is Aaron Judge. He's like the Gronkowski of baseball, right? Am I wrong there? Is that a pretty good?
Kind of close without the rings, but I think it's interesting the fact that Judge, who's always been injury plagued, seems pretty good. Now, I'm not wishing anything bad on him, but he's playing extremely well right now and could get this deal done before the end of the season.
I mean, you being a Boston fan, everyone else being a Yankee hater, unless you're a Yankee fan. How funny is it when the Yankees finally decide they're going to be frugal and spend smart, that they're not going to spend on a guy who actually they could have spent, not have to go empty the bank for, paid him what he deserved, and he may end up somewhere else, or they're going to have to pay out for
I respect your sources. You said last week you thought he was going to play elsewhere next year.
Yeah, I mean, my sources. I mean, yeah, look, I mean, he's played long enough in that market where I think he now transcends playing in market one, right? Wherever he goes, people are going to keep eyes on. And look, man, if we're talking about respect, especially when it comes to these athletes that are younger, why would you stay in New York? Like, you've been the show for the last couple of years. You got a manager who has no idea what he's doing. I'm on record as saying that, right? The best thing they did was put a 220-foot fence in that stadium, and he's going to get paid. He doesn't need to get the numbers anymore. If he wants to win, is New York the place to stay?
But it seems like you're making the case for New York.
Why am I? How so? What do you mean?
Where else would you rather be? I mean, he is so perfectly set up.
And with a team in the Mets that have a lot more money, with a lot more ownership, and looking for a home run guy that they don't have right now.
Can you imagine?
How great would that be? I mean, look, just from a drama standpoint, how amazing would it be if he stepped across the river and went and played as a Met? They would talk about that for decades. Decades. Look what happened with over-the-hill Doc Gooden when he did it. I mean, that was a major story. Now you've got arguably a top 5 best baseball player in the league doing it in his prime.
You know, they look at the team. I think the hidden part of the Yankees is the defense. They've tightened up defensively. A lot of the same pieces are in place that have failed them the last few years, except defensively now they look like a major league team.
Well, that too, and they're a little bit healthy. I know they're dealing with a couple of different injuries on their in their relief staff, but they are healthy. They're playing a little bit better. I think what's interesting about this, they still play baseball. So when Judge doesn't hit, they're eking out doubles, singles. They're doing exactly what baseball loves to do. When Judge is hitting, it's over. So they're finding ways to do that, but defensively they're playing great. I mean, you can't really complain about anything.
You see them winning it?
I mean, look, is the team that's the best team not even at the All-Star break? Do they ever win the World Series? Right? Like, something's gonna happen, and it's not wishing ill on the Yankees, and I don't even think it's
which is okay here.
I mean, look, they keep talking about how they're ahead of the 1927 Yankees right now, but I haven't seen another statistic that showed me what other teams were ahead of the 1927 Yankees 50 games into the season.
And the thing is, before the 1970s, you know, it was like now there's tiered playoffs, and no matter how good you are, baseball being baseball, you're vulnerable.
Wire to wire in baseball, just never happens. I mean, it's very rare that this happens. You get a hot team that's out of nowhere somewhere right after the All-Star break, goes into the fall and destroys everything. I don't know who that team is.
The Atlanta Braves last year, the Washington Nationals did it the year before.
100%. And let's look at it this way, man. At the All-Star break, what do the Yankees have that they can bring in? You don't want to pay Judge, but you're going to pay to bring people in to make that team better. And can you make that team better? What can you do to that team right now that makes them better? I would be afraid you are so good leading into the All-Star break. You decide to sit pat, or you screw with your chemistry, and somebody gets better, jumps over you, because they have the ability to fill a hole that you don't have.
Yeah, they're not even filling holes at this point. I mean, when you're that far ahead, when the trade deadline comes up, they're going to be adding to strengths. I mean, they're in such a position right now. If it doesn't happen this year, it's like...
And could adding mess up the chemistry?
That's
whatever
yeah.
you've got going on right now, do you even want to mess with it with a trade?